Most people have the best relationship with their father, but for me, mine is one of the exceptions. My father is an abusive loser who hates his life and would take it out on his children, especially me. He would beat us with anything he could find around the house. Our mother had to support us and him, since he couldn't hold down a job for more than 3 days. So that meant she was out of the house, working all the time. One night, Dad was watching us as usual, which meant that he was passed out drunk on his bed. I watched my younger sister, who was 3 at the time. I sat her in front of the television and put on one of her favorite kids' films. Meanwhile, I was in the kitchen preparing to make us some PB&Js. I had to check on the drunk to see if he can get the bread from the top shelf. But as always, he was asleep, and since he was a deep sleeper, there was no point trying to wake him up. Before I left the room, I noticed the top drawer of the nightstand was open. When I looked inside, I saw it. My father's gun. I never thought I would lay my eyes on a real gun before, but there it was. I would later find out it was a Zeraki revolver P2. I picked it up, and it felt cold on the touch. I watched a lot of R-rated movies to know to use a gun, especially about the safety. I picked up the gun and aimed it at my father's head. I turned off the safety and pulled back the hammer. A mountain of scenarios came rushing to my head to the point that I was debating with myself on whether or not I should pull the trigger. If I did, I knew I couldn't get away with it and be sent to prison for the rest of my life, leaving my sister alone in this world. But if I didn't, then that would leave him free to abuse us until we were old enough to run away. As I continued to debate on whether or not I should take his life, when I remembered that my sister was waiting on those sandwiches, I put the gun away and returned to the kitchen, decided to use a chair to get the bread. But I always remembered where his gun was, in case the temptation ever rose again.